Welcome to today's Explainer. Look, right now, modern organizations are facing a massive problem, a severe trust deficit. We're going to break down exactly how to bridge that gap today and how to build lasting credibility. Using a definitive strategy guide from Linkonize, we're going to show you how to turn skeptical audiences into your biggest, most trusting advocates. Let's face a harsh truth. We live in an era where people are literally bombarded with sponsored content, and honestly, they're tuning out traditional ads faster than ever before. So it begs the ultimate question. If purchased visibility is dead, how do organizations actually earn real credibility?
Here's our exact route from ignored to trusted. We'll cover the crisis of trust, understanding earned media, why media relations matters, the 6-step Linkonize process, avoiding common PR mistakes, and finally, building lasting public trust. Let's dive in.
Section 1. The crisis of trust. Moving past the era of purchased attention.
To actually solve this crisis, we've got to rethink media relations. It's the strategic process of building relationships and securing earned coverage to really enhance your credibility. You know, it's not just writing a press release and blasting it out to 1,000 email addresses, just crossing your fingers and hoping something sticks. No way. The real goal here is to become a trusted, authoritative source.
Section 2. Understanding earned media. The fundamental difference in modern communications. The difference between the old way and the new reality, it's like night and day. Paid advertising is bought. You know the drill. You pay the money, you get the megaphone. But earned media, things like a feature in a major news outlet or an interview on a top-tier podcast, that cannot be bought because it comes from an independent source. Audiences instinctively trust it. You literally have to earn it by actually providing value. Section 3. Why media relations matters. The credibility dividend for your organization. Listen, a successful strategy isn't just PR for the sake of PR. It yields a massive dividend. Independent media coverage actually proves your expertise is recognized outside of your own echo chamber. It introduces you to entirely new audiences, builds an incredibly resilient public image, and, especially for those in regulated spaces, it actively supports vital public affairs and advocacy.
Section 4. The 6-step Linkonize process, a rigorous framework for securing trusted coverage.
So Linkonize breaks this whole complex undertaking down into an incredibly logical, rigorous 6-step framework. It leaves absolutely nothing to chance, moving systematically from that initial landscape research all the way through to final performance monitoring. Let's take a look at how this actually works in practice.
All right, steps 1 and 2, research and story development. Here is a tough pill to swallow from the source material. Not every corporate announcement is actually newsworthy. I mean, honestly, nobody cares about your new office coffee machine. To gain real traction, you need genuine industry insights, concrete data, or the actual human impact of your work. That is exactly what journalists care about. And that builds directly into steps 3 and 4, targeting and outreach. The absolute secret weapon here? Hyper-personalization. Different stories belong with completely different outlets. The source material is completely ruthless on this point. Absolutely no mass distribution and no generic copy-paste emails. It's all about building genuine, targeted relationships.
Finally, we have preparation and monitoring. When the spotlight hits, you have to be ready. And that means anticipating the absolute hardest possible questions so your executives can deliver consistently. But, the work doesn't just stop when the interview airs. Step 6 is where you measure the real impact. You're evaluating audience engagement, public sentiment, and share of voice to fuel your very next campaign. Section 5. Avoiding common PR mistakes, pitfalls that destroy credibility. Even with a great framework, you can instantly sabotage your efforts if you fall into these common traps. Things like contacting the wrong journalists, sending out generic press releases, or focusing solely on self-promotion. That basically guarantees your email goes straight to the trash. You can't just react. You absolutely must plan proactively and respect the journalist's time. It really all boils down to this. Successful media relations requires consistency, preparation, and credibility. It's really that simple, and yet it's that demanding. You just cannot fake your way into independent coverage. You've got to do the hard work up front.
Section 6. Building lasting public trust, integrating media relations into your broader strategy.
You see, media relations doesn't just exist in a vacuum.
The Linkonize approach integrates it directly into a much larger puzzle. By combining media outreach with stakeholder intelligence, public affairs, and policy insight, organizations achieve something infinitely more valuable than just a quick 15-minute flash of publicity. They achieve meaningful, lasting visibility.
Ultimately, mastering earned media isn't about chasing fleeting headlines. It's about building foundational trust with the audiences that actually control your success. So, if purchased visibility is no longer enough to protect your reputation, how will you apply this framework to elevate your own story? Dive into the source material to start building your trust dividend today.